Every morning, one small action can change your entire destiny. One simple habit can transform your confidence, rebuild your discipline, and silently push you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Most people ignore this habit, and most people stay stuck. But the people who master it, they win, quietly, consistently, powerfully. Today, I will show you the lesson that shaped Navy SEALs, saved broken lives, and built unstoppable discipline. Welcome to UpZen Stores, and welcome to the blueprint for personal power. A successful life rarely begins with giant leaps. It begins with small, disciplined steps repeated consistently. The first lesson from Make Your Bed is deceptively simple. Start your day with a completed task. When you wake up and accomplish something immediately, even something as small as making your bed, you send a message to your brain that you are in control. You create momentum. You build self-respect. You tell yourself, I finish what I start. This is not about the bed. It is about identity. Because a disciplined identity creates a disciplined life. When you complete one small task, your mind becomes sharper. You are less likely to procrastinate. You feel a quiet sense of victory. That feeling pushes you to complete the next task and the next until your day becomes a chain of wins. This is how confidence is built, not through motivation, but through consistent small victories. Even in the darkest, most stressful periods of life, these small wins can hold you together. The book reminds us that life will never go exactly as planned. Hard days will come. Failure will come. Setbacks will strike without warning. And when chaos appears, your discipline becomes your anchor. Your routines become your stability. Your habits become your safety. A simple task in the morning becomes a reminder that you can create order in the middle of disorder. It becomes a reminder that you are not powerless. Another powerful idea in the book is that no one succeeds alone. Navy SEALs depend on teamwork. In the ocean, during training, cold water and crushing waves break even the strongest men. The only ones who survive are the ones who encourage each other, support each other, and push each other. This lesson translates to life. You need people who believe in you, people who challenge you, people who remind you of your strength when your confidence fades. You don't need 100 people, only a few who stand with you. You rise higher when you rise together. There is also the lesson of embracing challenges instead of fearing them. In SEAL training, instructors intentionally create discomfort, freezing water, exhausting runs, endless pressure, because discomfort reveals your true potential. Most people avoid pain, but those who grow, those who lead, and those who achieve greatness move through discomfort. They understand that a difficult life doesn't break you, it shapes you. It sharpens your instincts and fuels your resilience. One of the most emotional lessons in the book is the power of hope. During one brutal night of training, the ocean was dark, cold, and unforgiving. Many trainees were ready to quit. But far in the distance, one person began singing. His voice was weak but determined. Slowly, others joined him. Their voices grew louder. Their spirit returned. That night, they passed the hardest test, not because of strength, but because of hope. This is the truth of life. When hope dies, everything becomes impossible. But when hope lives, nothing can stop you. The book also teaches the importance of accepting failure, learning from it, and moving forward without shame. Every successful Navy SEAL has failed 1,000 times. Failed tests, failed missions, failed expectations, but they never let failure define them. They use failure as a mirror, not a prison. They adjust, they grow, they refine, and slowly they become unstoppable. You don't need to be perfect to win. You only need to be persistent. Another lesson is standing tall in the face of bullying, cruelty, and unfairness. Life is not fair. People will doubt you, underestimate you, or try to intimidate you. But your courage, even when silent, can disarm the enemy. You gain strength when you refuse to shrink. You gain power when you choose dignity over fear. You gain respect when you stand your ground. And finally, the book ends with a message that echoes through every chapter. Never give up. No matter how cold the water gets, no matter how loud the world becomes, no matter how exhausted your mind feels, never let yourself quit. Quitting becomes a habit just like discipline. The moment you surrender once, surrendering becomes easier. But when you hold the line, when you refuse to fall, when you push through one more minute, you unlock a version of yourself that is stronger, braver, and wiser. Your life does not change by accident. It changes by discipline, belief, courage, and persistence. It changes when you decide to take control. It changes when you begin your day with a victory. It changes when you choose to rise again and again. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, remember this: your first victory is waiting for you. Make your bed and make your life.
True transformation begins when you confront the patterns that silently control your life. The book reminds us that most people are not defeated by the world, they are defeated by the voice inside their own mind. That quiet, negative soundtrack that keeps playing in the background. You're not good enough. You'll fail again. You don't deserve success. Why even try? These thoughts become chains, and the longer you allow them to play, the deeper they shape your reality. But thoughts are not permanent. They are habits, and habits can be replaced. The key is noticing the moment your mind begins repeating an unhealthy pattern. When you feel fear even before you take a step, when you feel doubt before you even try, when you feel defeated without any real failure, that is the moment the old soundtrack is playing. The book teaches you to pause, recognize the negative loop, and challenge it with truth, not emotion. When your mind says you can't do it, you ask, is this fact or fear? When your mind says you'll fail, you ask, what proof do I have? When your mind says others are better than you, you ask, but have you even given yourself a fair chance? Slowly, you take control of a system that used to control you. Another major lesson is the role of repetition in shaping identity. It is not enough to think positively once. You must train your mind the way you train your muscles. Repetition builds strength. Imagine hearing a negative sentence every day for years. It becomes your belief. Now, imagine replacing that with empowering statements repeated daily with intention. I am capable. I can improve. I am worthy of growth. I can handle discomfort. I am stronger than my doubts. Over time, these sentences shift your emotional landscape. Your mind starts believing them, and your actions follow. The book emphasizes the importance of awareness. You cannot change a thought that you do not notice. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of creating it. They don't notice how their inner dialogue influences their decisions. They don't realize how many opportunities they avoid because their mind quietly whispers fear. But once you develop awareness, you gain power. You begin seeing the difference between situations and stories, between what is actually happening and what your mind is telling you. A powerful practice the book shares is writing down your negative thoughts exactly as they appear. Once they're on paper, they look smaller, weaker, and far less threatening. You can analyze them, question them, and rewrite them. This simple exercise turns confusion into clarity. It turns fear into structure. It turns emotion into logic. Another major idea is focusing on progress, not perfection. Many people sabotage themselves because they want instant results. They expect dramatic change overnight. But real growth is slow, steady, and often invisible in the beginning. A single positive action might feel useless, A single disciplined choice might feel too small to matter, but these small actions compound. Over weeks, months, and years, they transform you into someone unrecognizable, someone wiser, stronger, and more capable. Progress is not loud. It is quiet, consistent, and patient. You must also learn to let go of the past. The book teaches that you are not your failures, your mistakes, or your old identity. You are not defined by who you were. You are shaped by who you choose to become. Most people remain stuck because they carry old guilt, old shame, old stories that no longer belong to them. Letting go does not erase the memory. It simply releases its power over your future. It allows you to grow beyond the limits you once accepted. One of the deepest lessons is understanding that your thoughts are not commands. They are suggestions. They don't control you, they only influence you. And you have the authority to decide which thoughts to accept and which to reject. This is mental freedom, choosing your inner dialogue instead of being enslaved by it. Your mind is a storyteller. Sometimes it tells the truth, sometimes it lies. But the more you challenge it, the more honest it becomes. The more you train it, the more supportive it becomes. Over time, you build a mind that protects you, encourages you, and pushes you toward the person you want to become. This journey is not about silencing your thoughts. It is about choosing them. It is about creating an inner environment that allows discipline, peace, courage, and clarity to grow. When your inner world becomes stable, your outer world becomes easier to handle. And slowly, you begin to realize something powerful. Your life changes the moment your thoughts change.
Real transformation becomes possible the moment you understand that your thoughts create your actions and your actions shape your entire life. But the book reveals something even deeper. The mind isn't just creating your present, it is shaping the future you will eventually live in. Every decision you make is influenced by the internal soundtrack running inside your head. If that soundtrack is filled with fear, hesitation, and self-doubt, your future becomes small. But if the soundtrack is strong, encouraging, and disciplined, your future becomes limitless. The book reminds us that a strong mind is not something you are born with. It is something you build, slowly, intentionally, with patience. A single negative thought cannot destroy you, just like a single positive thought cannot save you. But the thoughts you feed consistently, the ones you repeat over and over, become the foundation of your identity. That is why you must guard your inner world the way a warrior guards the gate of a fortress. You cannot let every thought enter. You cannot trust every emotion. You cannot allow every fear to become truth. And the most powerful shift happens when you stop believing everything your mind tells you. Because the truth is simple. Your mind is not your master. It is your tool. You get to decide how it works. You get to decide what stories it is allowed to tell. You get to decide which thoughts stay and which thoughts are rejected. Once you begin rejecting the negative loops, something incredible happens. You start hearing your real voice, the voice that wants to grow, succeed, and improve. The voice that believes in your future. The voice that wants to give you a second chance. That voice becomes louder day by day. It begins guiding you, encouraging you, and supporting you. And gradually, you become aligned with the person you always wanted to be. Confident, focused, disciplined, and emotionally strong. Another powerful lesson from the book is learning to interrupt old patterns. Before you react, pause. Before you speak, breathe. Before you judge yourself, think. Before fear takes over, ask yourself, is this real or is this just my old soundtrack playing again? This pause, this tiny moment of awareness, can save you from years of unnecessary pain. It gives you space to choose a stronger response. It gives you the power to replace fear with logic, doubt with courage, and hesitation with action. Slowly, your life stops being controlled by automatic responses and starts being shaped by conscious choices. The book also emphasizes one truth that many people ignore. Your future is not decided by your past, it is decided by your discipline. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. You are allowed to create new patterns. You are allowed to rewrite your story. You are allowed to become someone better than you were yesterday. The only thing you must do is continue. Even on the days you feel weak, even on the days your mind whispers old fears, even on the days your confidence is low, consistency beats talent. Persistence beats perfection. Healing beats rushing. And discipline beats doubt. When you keep going, even slowly, you step into a future where you are in control, not your thoughts. That is the moment you become unstoppable. Not because life is easy, but because your mind is finally strong enough to face it. So today, decide one thing with full honesty. Will you let your negative thoughts shape your life? Or will you build new thoughts that shape a better future? The book says clearly, the choice is always yours, and your choice today becomes the life you live tomorrow. If this journey touched you even a little, if any sentence connected with your heart, if you believe your mind deserves a better soundtrack, then keep moving forward, keep growing, keep choosing the stronger version of yourself. And remember, you are always one new thought away from a different life.